What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Blaugrana Buzz. Everybody, welcome back, guys. Listen, my guy Hafed is on his way, guys. He's going to be joining us very, very soon. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. Big up to every single one of you guys who are already here watching, guys. But listen, another episode of Blaugrana Buzz, guys. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about. This is going to be a very, very stacked episode, guys. We're going to be talking about Cubarsi's new contract. We're going to be talking about all the new contracts basically we've signed. We're going to be talking about a pre-contract that is potentially going to be signed very soon, which is with Jonathan TAH. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about Alexander Isak being a top priority in the summer. We're going to talk about, speaking of strikers, Robert Lewandowski, our current striker, potentially here for another season. We're going to be talking about players like Luis Diaz. We're going to talk about Frankie de Jong, because he also looks like he's going to be signing a new deal. And basically, we're going to also run some of the our form so far in 2025, right? Me and Hafe, we're gonna Barcelona boy, we're gonna be talking about our form so far this season, and basically how we've managed to crawl it back to where we are now in the table. We're very, very close. We're doing very, very well right now in the league. We're 2 points behind Real Madrid and a point behind Atleti, after we basically kind of faltered around the end of last year and basically ruined our 10-point lead. We were 9 points behind Madrid, but now we're 2 points. And basically how important this weekend is, because obviously you guys know this weekend we play Rayo Vallecano at home. Real Madrid are away at Osasuna, which is not going to be easy for them. Also, Atleti are playing against Celta de Vigo. That's going to be very, very, very tough for them. They're going to have to work for it. But yeah, make sure you guys put your questions in the comment section. I'm going to be reading a lot of your comments on the stream as well. So if you guys have any question for me, or you have any question for Barcelona boy, make sure you guys put it in the comment section. Big up to every single one of you guys who's watching. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. But yeah, listen, it's going to be a very, very good stream, guys. Big up to everybody here. So big up to my guy Bank. Big up to you, man. Like I saw actually you came in very, very early. Big up to you guys, man. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to Nielsen in the chat, always hating out here saying, man, fuck Bas. Listen, this guy, man, he says, listen, it is what it is, man. Listen, as far as the Cubarsi deal is concerned, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it. Personally, for me, I'm happy, man. Like I've already said, like anyone who knows, Cubarsi is the future. He's the future of this club. He's the future of of the center back in this team, right? Like we've made a lot of good deals. That's the best part about like our season so far, right? Like I like what we've been doing, and we're gonna go into detail about it because, like I said, we've basically renewed so many of our key players, right? Cubarsi is one. You got Balde, Araujo signed a new contract. Eric Garcia, I think, no, not Eric Garcia. Pedri has signed a new contract. Gavi has signed a new contract. So yeah, there's so many of our key players who are basically have a future at this club who were nailing to new contract. I think basically the one for me I feel like is inevitable is the deal for Lamine Yamal. Now we're gonna talk about Yamal as well, guys, because things have actually come out about Yamal as well, and potentially him signing a new deal. So we will get into that too, guys, because apparently we're working on also giving him a new deal as well. But yeah, man, big up to everyone. Make sure you guys like the video. And like I said, put your comments in the comment section. Barcelona boy is running a little bit late, but he will be here very, very, very soon, guys. But look, at the end of the day, as far as Barca is concerned, we are in a good place right now. 2025 has not been a bad year. This weekend, like I said, we're playing against Rayo Vallecano. This weekend could be a big weekend for us, right? At the end of the day, if we can win, because we have a better goal difference than both Atleti and Real Madrid, right? Real Madrid have so many problems in their defense, right? You're seeing how injury plagued that they are in their defense. Like their injury problems is ridiculous, right? Like it's crazy because at the start of the season, you could say the same thing about us. We had injury problems from the start of the season. Like our whole team, the defense, well, we barely had a fit defense. I think we only had Cubarsi and Inigo as the only fit defenders in our team, right? You had no Araujo, Christensen. Like we have still not seen Christensen this season so far. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, give me a second. Let me actually check. I'm gonna check some very quickly. Yeah, but yeah, basically, as far as our team is concerned, we had only Kubashi and Inigo Martinez as the only fit centre backs. But when you look at Real Madrid, they have Rudiger, who's just suffered an injury recently. Alaba is still not played this season so far. We've still not seen him. Who else? Who else am I missing? Yeah. Who else am I missing? I'm tripping. I think Lucas Vasquez also just suffered an injury recently, right? Yeah. So Lucas Vasquez is injured. Who else is? Well, Militao. I forgot. Militao is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Militao is out injured. Raul Asensio. Listen. As far as that guy is concerned, he's in hot water. He's in hot water. I don't want to get into any issues on this channel. Let me just say he is in a lot of hot water right now, man. He was start doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing. Let's just put it that way. Yo, big up to my guy Eunice every single time, bro. Big up to Barca React, big up to you every single time. But yeah, man, listen, at the end of the day, look, as far as Barca is concerned, we are just doing our thing, right? And I feel like we just have to just focus on ourselves. We just have to focus on ourselves. Like, we have to start this weekend. Like, we had an amazing win last week against Sevilla. What a win, right? Big win to close the gap. Like, we wanted a draw in the Real Madrid Atleti game. We got the draw against Atleti versus Real Madrid. We got what we wanted. So we went out there. We did our thing against Sevilla. This week, it's going to be another big week because the table could potentially change. If Real Madrid lose and Atleti lose or draw and we win, we go top of the table this weekend. I mean, we'll be the same points as Real Madrid and Atleti. Oh no, actually, I think so. Okay, so this is how it goes. So if let's say Osasuna's game against Real Madrid ends in a draw, and the Atleti also draw, I think we will go top of the table based on goal difference. So we would be the same points as Real Madrid, but we'll have a better goal difference, and I think we'll be a point ahead of Atleti or something like that. But yeah, basically, it's on us. It's on us. But listen, at the end of the day, Atleti are playing against Celta Vigo at home, so anything can happen in that game. Anything can happen. Like, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Barcelona are and also listen, at the end of the day, I know I come out here and I have a lot of chess whenever like these games come around, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna be easy for us. It is not gonna be easy. We're gonna have to work. Like, I've come into these streams with a lot of chess. I remember Leganes, I thought easy win. We didn't get it done, right? We can't falter anymore. Like, we are now in a position now at Barca where we have to now win every single game. There is no exception. That's what we have to do. There's no exception. But big up to my guy, man. Big up to you every single time, man. Big up to you every time. But yeah. Like I said, guys, sorry that my Barcelona boy is running late, guys. He will be here very, very soon. I think he just sent me a text right now. He said he's on his way. But look, at the end of the day, we just have to do what we have to do. And look, at the end of the day, Atleti, they're not playing around. They're not playing around. They have already beaten us this season, right? It was an absolute disgrace the way we lost that game. And also, we're playing them in the Copa del Rey semifinals. So it's going to be a long semifinals for us, right? Real Madrid playing against Osasuna, this is the worst time they could play right now because they have injury problems. And not to mention, they just played a game in the Champions League midweek. So, and most of their players played for like 90 minutes. Like, they had to work. And the issue is, they're playing away to Osasuna, who, let's be remember, Osasuna are not an easy team to play against at home. We lost to them earlier this season. In fact, they're the first team to give us an L this season. They gave Hansi Flick his first L in La Liga this season, right? And they battered us. They were the better team. They battered us. And look, many people can make the excuses of, oh yeah, Barcelona rotated and all this stuff. No, it doesn't matter. They did what they had to do. And listen, at the end of the day, Real Madrid could potentially rotate their team. And if they do, they're going to lose. I mean, listen, hopefully the hope is that that Osasuna do us a favor. That's the hope. But at the end of the day, we just have to do our thing. But it's kind of similar to last week, where we were praying as fans for Atleti to get the job done, get a draw. But then we had to do our job. And look, we made it harder than it needed to be. We made it harder. Like I'm being a serious. Any of you guys who watched the game against us against Sevilla, you will know. Before we scored that second or the third, bro, that game was peak. The fact that we took the lead and then literally conceded right after kickoff was ridiculous. And let's call it out for what it is. Sevilla were bums in that game. Their striker, that Romero guy, is an absolute bum. Like, that guy had a chance after, like, around the end of that first half where he had a simple tap in and somehow he mistimed the ball. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, right? And this is the problem that I see with Barcelona this season. This is why I'm not as confident in the league as I am in the Champions League. I'm sorry, I'm not confident in the Champions League like I am in the league, because in the league it's different, right? I think that, against certain teams you can play like this. The problem in the Champions League is you've seen Real Madrid. Look at Real Madrid; they just beat Manchester City. Like, you've seen teams like Inter Milan, you've seen teams like Liverpool. And let's be clear, this is knockout rounds now in the Champions League. This is where things change. Like, we were in the group stages in the league format, and let's be real, teams don't usually do well in the league format, right? Big up to my guy Barca boy, he's just arrived. But yeah, big up to my guy Barca boy. Listen, I was actually just, before you came in, I was just talking about Champions League, guys. Literally, how in the league format, teams come in, they we play our best, but in the knockout round, like, that's where, like, teams are showing how good they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, for me as a Barca fan, as much as I've been impressed with us in the Champions League format, I'm not sitting here saying, yo, this is giving me hope that it's going to be an incredible, like, obviously I would love for us to win the Champions League, but you and I have seen our team, man. I don't think this team is ready this season. Maybe next season we could be, but this season I'm not as confident. But yeah, what do you think about what I just said personally for you?
First of all, sorry that I'm late. I apologize. But I agree with basically what you said. I think on paper this team isn't ready, but like you've mentioned, so far this year there is kind of that bit of revenge arc and revenge storyline behind it. I think, like you said, Champions League really always comes down to luck. Who you draw, how you play, what other team have injuries, are they on good form, and how you're doing as well. We're still fighting for all three trophies right now. Of course, we've already won one. I don't think we're going to win the Champions League. I think it's also important that we have that. It's important that we have that mentality down to that. If we do win it, we'll be even more gassed.
Now, you see, this is exactly the psychological mindset. People don't understand. It's like, realistically, you know what? Obviously, we are Barca fans. We want to win everything. Of course, I would love to sit here and say, yeah, the Champions League in the bag, league in the bag, everything in the bag. Like, I would like to have that confidence, but you have to be realistic as well, and you have to look at the whole thing in general. Like, I've always said this with me. I'm like, because we watch Barca every week, we know our strengths and our weaknesses, and we know how our weaknesses could impact us in certain competitions. So we're like, listen, we're not saying we can't win it, but our weaknesses could be the reason why we don't win it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I will say on the contrary that I do think this is probably one of our best chances of winning it. This is like the first time we're in the Champions League, and I'm like, you know what, we can actually win it. Probably since the Anfield season. After that, I never thought we could win it. But this season, I thought I had a little bit of hope last season, simply on the fact of the route to the final was
the easiest we could have gotten. Me too, bro.
Yeah, so I think we beat PSG.
I genuinely thought, right? I was like, if we reach the final, we play Madrid, I think we can beat Madrid in the final.
Nah, Madrid in the final we would have gotten cooked. So thank
No,
John.
no. But come on, let's be real. In El
I don't
Clasico
know.
final, man. Like you know what it is. You know what it is. Especially
I don't want to risk it. I've been talking about this
I
a
mean,
lot
look,
on the
Real Madrid
channels
were
too.
going to be in the final. I'm not going to lie. When they knocked out City, I was like, yeah, they're going to beat the final, bro. I knew it, man.
Thank God we didn't get there because I would not have risked. I think my biggest fear as a Barca fan in my life would be a Champions League Clasico final, which
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think,
gonna lie. I'm not ready for that either. Even though
yeah,
I'm saying
I
that
hope
we
I
did,
thought,
and my heart would not be able to
bro. I'll tell you right now, I hope I never see it.
No, you know why? You know why? Because if Madrid beat us in the final of the Champions League, bro,
Oh my!
they
There's so many
will
avenues.
never let us
What if we get destroyed? What if we narrowly lose? What if we beat them? What if we batter them? There's so many options that I just don't want to risk it whatsoever.
No, you're right, bro. It's too much
Yeah.
of a heartache. Like you know what
Mhm.
it is? The excitement is just gonna kill you. Because you know why? It's 1 minute you're gonna be excited. If you
I
win it,
won't be excited. I'll be shitting my pants like the whole build up. Even during the game, I'll be sitting there biting my nails, just being as nervous as can be. Imagine if we like concede first, then I'm just there like batter. Then we bring it back to 1-1, then we concede 90th minute to lose. There's so many like different ways it can go on the high and
Bro,
the low.
yeah, my heart would not be able to do it. Bro, I'm sorry, man. Like
So
I'm
shout out
doing a
PSG
watch
for
along.
saving us last season.
I'll just have an oxygen mask next to me because I'm like,
Literally,
bro,
literally.
I'll probably have anxiety the whole street, bro.
But this
If
year,
we
to
win
be
it, I'll
fair,
be sitting there having anxiety, like, yo, please. Oh my
but
days.
this year, to be fair, if we avoid PSG in the round 16, we have a pretty easy route to the semifinal. And then we get
I'm not gonna
Benfica,
lie.
then we get the
Yeah.
winner of like Sporting and Dortmund, and then we're in the semifinal, which I believe is like the winner of Atletico, Arsenal, something like that. So it gets difficult, right? But if we just avoid PSG in that round 16, there's a good route to the semi. Then whoever get in the semi, we go for it over two. Like so we finish second, and then we have home advantage throughout the whole entire bracket. Us and Liverpool, but Liverpool will be on the other side, of course. So we have home advantage the entire way through, which is of course a huge bonus. So
Yeah.
I think the team. I'll tell you this. This is the first time where I can see the team really wants to win it since the Anfield
Yeah.
season when Messi came out and did that speech. I think like Messi really wanted it and he kind of carried and the team was kind of with him. But this is the first time where I'm seeing a whole team united. Probably since we won the treble, because we won the treble that season before was very disappointed because we kind of lost everything last second. And then after Messi lost the World Cup, there felt like a bit of a resurgence. We of course signed Suarez, who was on the ban, didn't come back until October. Then we had the whole shakeup in January, and it felt like the team really was going to go for everything. This is the first time I felt that way since then. So the team seems to be united. I think we are regarded as the best team in the world alongside Liverpool. I think everyone agrees that we play better football, but Liverpool have been so professional, have been good in terms of getting results. That's why everyone wants to see that game. But I think there is a chance that we do win it. I do feel like this team can do it.
I mean, you gotta be in it to win it. I think that we obviously like Barca are Barca. We like you can say people can say, oh well, it's not the same Barca as the past, but we are still who we are. And listen, at the end of the day, it's not like the way we're playing in the Champions League. I'm gonna be real. I'm not sitting here saying, well, this we're playing well, but then we're gonna lose when we play against a big team. No. We've played against big teams. We played Bayern Munich in the Champions League. We battered them. You understand what I'm saying, right? We can get it done in games. And listen, at the end of the day, you're right. PSG right now, bro, is literally the worst time to play them. They are in the form of their lives. Like Mo is enjoying life right now. And I'm not gonna lie, a part of me wants to just play them and beat them just so that I can just throw that guy because he's been talking too much BS about our team, bro. He's so obsessed with our team. Every time I'm like on his channel, I'm like, yo, this guy's making a video about us. Why is this guy so upset? Like, we're not even rivals, bro. Like, chill.
That's why.
But yeah, but listen, but I do want to get back into the conversation, all right? And listen, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened, man. Let's be real. Barcelona 2025 has been so far so good, right?
Undefeated.
Not lost any games so far this year yet, right? We've had moments where we've not been playing well in certain games, but we've got the win. Like I remember the Benfica game, right? We were poor in that game, very poor, but we somehow left that stadium with a win, right?
To be fair, that's probably the only game. I think apart from that,
game, yeah. I would probably say the only game.
The two draws as well. But to be fair, Atlanta, I think we played well in the second half. Apart from that, we've been.
But I feel like we qualified, and I feel like the team didn't want it. So I'm like, maybe I could.
I think the first half was kind of back and forth. I think once Lamine Yamal got that goal, really early on in the second half, we looked much better. Even though we conceded two jammy goals. But the two goals we conceded, the first one was just a rocket from Ederson, and then the second one was Mistake
Oh,
from
Araujo, man.
Araujo, mistake
Absolutely.
from Araujo.
Araujo, jeez.
Sevilla first half was quite poor as well, the last game.
I just
But
mentioned it.
yeah, apart from that, I think we've been pretty good.
Yeah,
I think,
and that's the
yeah.
thing. And also, let's be real, right? Last time we did the show, we were on the mud, bro. Like
Yeah, we were.
we just
How
squandered
times
the
have changed.
10-point lead. Real Madrid were clear of us, but now here we are on another episode. We're 2 points behind Madrid, who've got too many problems at their club right now. They're too much like yeah, bro. Things are so peak at Real Madrid right now. They're looking for any excuse just to justify why they're not having a good season. Like you see Florentino Perez trying to take La Liga to court for referee. And I'm like, bro, you guys talking about referees is so rich. Considering before this weekend, when you guys considered penalty was the first penalty you considered all season. You got 10 penalties, and that was the first one you conceded. And these guys have the nerve to talk about referees. Like, bro, I'm just like, nah, know your lane. Like, the whole defense is finished. Like, the whole defense is like, bro, listen, as a Barca fan, you and I know, bro, we suffered our injury problems, bro. We've had too many, like, we've our own struggles with injury. So they don't get to use the excuse of injuries against us, because when we had injury problems, we were 10 points clear. In fact, when we had our players fit, it's when we actually started messing things up, right? So they can make the excuse, and they've had so many injuries, right? But listen, we're gonna talk about that Real Madrid thing around the end of this thing. I do want to quickly get back on track, because listen, as far as Barca is concerned, on the pitch, doing well. Off the pitch, we've actually been doing quite well, right? And this is actually where I really want to start this stream today. Give me a second. This is the big one that's just come out. The big one. Cubarsi has officially renewed until 2029. He now joins the list alongside Araujo, alongside Gavi, alongside Pedri, alongside who else? Inigo Martinez,
Lewandowski, Fermin
Lewandowski,
Lopez.
yes, exactly. Like I got the list here, right? Balde, Casado, Bernal, like so many players, like 2029, so many players. And I feel like the only player right now who's yet to really sign a new contract yet is Lamine Yamal, who we will talk about, because he's also on the verge of signing a deal as well. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Ever since we've gone this 101 rule, I like how we've been doing things business-wise, right? Instead of going out trying to say, oh, we've been linking us to so many players, we are focusing on like keeping the core, like the players who are gonna be the core of this team. Cubarsi is gonna be the core of that defense. Araujo, despite everything, he's a core of this of the defense, right? Gavi and Pedri, core of the midfield. You understand what I'm saying, right? Rafinha, I'm sure he's going to be given a new contract as well, right? For the season he's having, right? Yamal, another one, core of the attack. We're going to talk about another striker who's been linked recently to our club, right? But I like what we're doing, right? The transfer window hasn't opened yet. So right now, what we're focusing on is, okay, before the transfer window opens, let's make sure we work on ourselves. Let's work on our team, right? Let's work on the players who have a future at this club and nail them down for years to come, right? And it's beautiful. I love it, man. Like this is one of the best. Like this week has been an incredible week for the things I've been hearing from the club, right? But Cubarsi, right? This guy is the future of world football defensively. Let's be real. The fact that we've nailed him here, right, brings a smile to my face, because he's the future of this defense, right? But what do you think, man? This deal, how do you feel?
Well, he already signed a deal, remember, at the tailor end of last season to, of course, to keep him after he turned 17. He signed his first professional deal with Barcelona because his release clause was quite low and other teams were knocking in. I think it was like 6 or 12 million, so we got that up to, I think it was 500 million. And this season he's done even better, so that's why he's got a brand new deal, and the wages have gone up a little bit to represent how important he is for Barcelona, of course. And yeah, it was an easy renewal. And again, you have to say shout out to Deco. People have been hating Deco over the past, 2 summers, saying that, oh, he's not doing nothing, blah, blah, blah. And the day what he said in the media was quite clear. We have no money. We have no room with FFP. We have money, of course, but we have no room with FFP to do anything. Now we get room with one rule, and he's cooking. You're getting Araujo renewals, Gavi, Lua, Pedri, Inigo. We had, of course, Casado Balde at the beginning of the season, and we're gonna have probably Frankie, Rafa, and Kunde coming up. Those are the next 3 in line. I probably would say In the summer, we'll have Rafinha and Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong because his contract is running down, and Rafinha says he had a Ballon d'Or-esque campaign. No matter what happens this season, but no matter what we win, his season has been unbelievable. So he will get a new deal at the end.
Bro, he's already got 40 goals. When
Yeah,
February,
40
the brother has 40 goals. You guys could finish with 50 goal contributions in our.
That's what we got. We got to win some trophies to get this Ballon d'Or campaign running for him.
No, we have to. And listen, at the end of the day, the Ballon d'Or talk is there. Listen, I've always said it. It's not always about being the best player in the world every year. It's about the Ballon d'Or is about celebrating a player for a certain year. And let's be real, this year, apart from Salah, let's be real, there is no attacker that's doing what
I think that's what I was about to mention. As long as Liverpool don't win the Champions League and we let's say we do the Spanish treble, right? We win the Super Cup, Copa del Rey, and League, and Liverpool don't win the Champions League. I think it's still well contention to win it, unless the team that wins the Champions League also wins the Club World Cup. That might put him in a bit of contention. Of course, the player has to be performing well as well.
I'm just thinking about my.
So let's say for Madrid, right? Let's say they win the Champions League and the Club World Cup. So whoever their best player was for those two campaigns might put Rafinha into the running. But he's definitely going to be up there for sure for the season that he's having. I think he's only a few goals assists off of Mo Salah, where Mo Salah has played more games and he's on penalties as well, where Lewandowski, of course, takes the penalties first. I don't even think Rafinha's taken a penalty for Barcelona this season. No, he did against Mallorca away when Lewandowski
but I think
didn't play.
That Lewandowski wasn't either. He was on the bench.
He's on the bench. Yeah, Fran started. But yeah, the Deco, what Deco is doing is the right thing, and that's what all big clubs do. During the season, you renew contracts, you keep the core of your team. Then in the summer, you work on transfers. Everyone knows what the club's going to do this summer. Everyone knows the weaknesses of this team. It's left wingers and fullbacks. The plan for Barcelona over the next few years is quite clear. This summer will be left wing and fullbacks. Next summer after that will be striker. Following summer after that will be a goalkeeper. So the plan is already well constructed, barring, of course, unfortunate circumstances by injuries, maybe players leaving and stuff like that. But he's doing what every good sporting director is going to do. During the season, you renew contracts, you keep the core players, and then in the summer, you work on bringing and, pushing players out as well, which we will have to do this summer. We could probably generate a good, I was doing the math like a week ago, we could probably generate a good, easy 100 million euros this summer with exits. When you include loans as well. So you have like Victor Roque, 25 million, Lenglet going to Atletico. Atletico really want him. Romeu. Then you have players in the squad. Ansu will probably leave. Christensen will probably leave. Eric Garcia, you never know if he wants to stay fifth choice. He might end up staying because Flick really
I don't
likes
think
him.
he will. I mean, we're going to talk about another defender who looks like he's going to be signing as well. Because
we'll talk about him.
So
that's going to push.
If that deal happens, it's very likely that we're going to lose Christensen. And
I think watch out for Araujo as well, man. He has the release clause in there. 65.
Oh yeah. I haven't forgotten about him. Do not get it twisted. He's in the back because he, like you just mentioned, he has a 65 million euro.
But it's only valid for the first 10 days of the window or something. Again, we're going off of speculation. No one's gonna know the exact deals of the contract until something happens. Right now, we're hearing that it's 65 million euros for the first 10 days of July. But I would not be surprised if August hits. Breaking news: someone activates his 65 million release clause is actually valid for the whole summer, not the first 10 days. So we don't know the exact logistics of the deals. I even seen like after the first 10 days, after 65, it jumps to 150. So I've seen so many numbers, so many rumors. But if someone's going to activate that for Araujo, that could be an option as well. That'd be good money coming in as well, and a good price for him after what he's been in the team now for about a month. He hasn't really moved me, if I'm being completely honest. They're right in the Super Cup final, but apart from that, he's been pretty average in my opinion. Probably, I would say.
And also, let's call it out for what it is. You know it. We have not spoken about it, but we've had the same mindset on Araujo, the way he's been moving since he came back from injury. I've not liked it, right? Listen, he's doing too much out of the pitch, and when he's on the pitch, he's not doing enough. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I've seen a lot of people say that. Remember when we first started with this high line, right? Cubarsi and Inigo were making mistakes because you have to learn. It's difficult, and I understand.
I would give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not one of these people where I'm like, he's coming, he's ruining the club, get him out. No. I'm just saying, for me, I think that he needs to just keep his head down. You understand what I'm saying, right? Keep your head down. You just came back from injury. I understand. You haven't had preseason. You haven't had any of these stuff, right? You had your problems this season, right? I'm not cruel. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, you just come in and do your job. No, right? I expected this. I expected rust from you. I expected it, right? But brother, just try and keep your head down and just play football, bro. You understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Sometimes I feel like he was doing too much in the start of when he came back that he didn't need to do, and that's what really got me. He got to on my bad side because of that. Because I was like, yo, Relax, man. Like
I
you
think he's
still
on
on the
a
contract with the club.
lot of fans' bad sides. To be fair, I think if his performances don't improve, like again with the offsides, he's given us. He can see, of course, the goal against Atlanta, like we were talked about, was his fault. The goal against Sevilla in the last game was his fault as well for not holding the
Yeah,
line.
keeping
So
them on
again,
the side. Yeah.
it comes with him learning it. But if it just keeps coming more and more and more consistent, then that's where the problem will come in. But yeah, there will be sales for him as well. Maybe some players in the attack that may lead, like a Pau Victor, Gerard Martin, Ferran Torres, if there's a good offer coming in. So
Yeah.
with the players that are on loan as well, like Alex Faye as well, we forgot to mention, we're looking at we can generate a good 100 million, because if you look at Christensen, he'll be 30. Victor Roque is 30. That's already 60 million. Plus, of course, the rubble that we have to get rid of. You could easily push 100 million in sales. So I do hope for important signings this summer, especially in that attacking position on the left
Oh
hand side.
yeah, for sure.
And then we're probably gonna get some no names at fullback, which kind of suck, but it is what it is. I really rate Hector Ford, so
Bro,
hopefully
listen,
we don't.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I understand this summer. I know we're in the 101 rule, financial fair play. Maybe we can be able to sign more players than we usually could. But if I'm gonna be real, we need new fullbacks. We need both new fullbacks in both positions, because Kunde has been doing a good job at right back. But let's call it out for what it is. He is not a right back. He's a center back that can play out in the right back position. But you see that he's very limited with the things he like. When you look at Hansi Flick's fullbacks, right? Kunde can do everything that Flick really wants from his fullbacks offensively. You understand what I'm saying? Defensively, yes, right? Alejandro Balde, I've always said this for me. I'm like, Alejandro Balde, if he was in the best big Barcelona, he would not be started. Think about it. We've had players like Adriano. Remember Adriano and Montoya? Like, do you remember? Those guys were not starting fullbacks. But guess what? When they were needed on the pitch, they did their thing. But guess what? They were not good enough to be starters. You understand what I'm saying? And I've always said, Alejandro Balde, for me, he's on the field because we don't have any fullbacks. If we had a fullback of a level on that left back position, I don't think he starts. Now, that's not a disrespect to Alejandro Balde. It's just that, dude, you're just a limited fullback.
He's cooking in 2025 so far, to be fair to him. He's done really well this year, but I understand your point.
I'm not hating on him. He's doing a good job. I'm not even saying, you've been...
The problem is we've not been linked with... I've never seen Barcelona sign a world-class fullback. I think our most expensive fullback signing is like Semedo and Dani Alves for like 30 million. Like, we don't...
Jordi Alba from Valencia. But to be fair...
No, but Jordi Alba we got for like 20 million.
I don't need a world-class fullback. Let's be real. We don't... Like, I've always said this.
But that's what this team needs right now. We already have good fullbacks. Kunde, Balde, Hector Ford, who I really think is a good talent. Of course, Gerard Martin is stinky. But what this team needs is a world-class fullback to, of course, push those who are starting, and then maybe they could end up dropping in.
But you can sign fullbacks who have the potential. Like, you know what it is? You remember when we signed Jordi Alba? Jordi Alba wasn't world class yet, but he was showing so much potential at Valencia that when we signed him, you could see that, okay, you come in, you can go to another level. Now, at the end of the day, when it comes to what's his name, Alejandro Balde, maybe he might prove me wrong and he might become a top fullback in the world someday, right? And I'll be more than happy to see that, right? But I just think that when it comes to him, I just don't see him reaching that level of world class. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to be a capable fullback, because sometimes, yes, you don't have to be world class to be capable. You could be a capable fullback. But I think that you just mentioned it, Vanderson from Monaco. He's a good fullback, but I see so much potential in this kid. He has great potential. I think that in the right team, potentially he could.
He's probably the best one that we've been linked with. Yeah, he of course played very well against us.
And I've seen enough from him. From what I've seen in league,
what I've heard from people who I know watch league regularly is that he's having a stinky season this year. What I've seen from him from the time he faced Barcelona and when I watched him against PSG stuff, really good player, both of course right back and left back. But he is a player that right now isn't doing well, and again, it really depends on the price as well.
Yeah, honestly, but look, I do, but basically, before we do move on, I just want to show you this, right? This is the point, right? You just mentioned it. Like the players who are who renewed, right? You've seen Cubarsi, Balde, Casado, Gavi, Bernard, Pedri, and Fermin, right? Here's the best thing about it. I actually forgot to mention Fermin. He's another one who's just signed a new contract as well, right? And he had a great game last game. Unfortunately, was hindered by that red card, which is ridiculous. But listen, it was a red card. I understand potential ankle breaker, one of those. But look, at the end of the day, I like what we're doing here. And apart from Pedri, who's basically an academy player, if you really think about it, because he's been here since that age, right? But Pedri, every one of these players is from La Masia, and I love it, right? Next up, it could be Yama. Like at the end of the day,
Except
I
except for
hope,
Pedri.
yeah. But this is the thing. At the end of the day, Pedri is Pedri, man.
He
But
feels like
listen,
it though.
but listen. Speaking of other centre backs, let's actually go to this guy because he seems like he is the next one in the door. Jonathan Tah, you've seen it. It says Jonathan Tah has decided to join Barcelona. There will soon be a meeting between the club and his camp to complete the signing. Jonathan Tah has rejected offers from Bayern Munich and is set to be Barca's first signing in the 25-26 season. I'm not gonna lie. People who have been asking me about this deal, right? Because I was one of the people that was for sign. I saw this deal for so long. And listen, guys, before I actually continue, I want to read some of your chats because some of these were, people always say I don't read the chats. Let's actually read some of these chats before we continue. Big up to Start Making Sense. He's very active in the chat. He's saying, Monteo was shit, bro. Let's not division. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Monteo was a good player. He wasn't a great player, but listen, he was just okay.
He was just an idiot.
Yeah, big up to Bakele. He says, Gavi is that one bum in the class when shit is not going right, he tends to crash out. I mean, hey, man, listen, he's one of our own, man. Zambrota was not world class. Yeah, he wasn't, but he was.
He wasn't. He was very solid though.
Solid, exactly. That's all you need sometimes. You don't need them to be always world class. If they're solid, they're solid. It says we need a left back more than we need a right back.
I would agree with that. Just because I think Balde is just someone that thrives on competition. I think Kone is so consistent. The fact that he drops like a good 7 out of 10 a lot of the time. He'll sometimes do really well, sometimes do really poorly. And I do really like Hector Ford. I'm a big fan of Hector Ford. I think he's a really, really good player. I really hope that he gets more minutes as well. Every time he plays, he does so well.
More than I did Gerard Martin.
Oh, for sure. Gerard Martin,
bro. We've just signed him on a new. Like he's another one.
Again, to be fair, 2025, he's been all right, but before this year, he was top 3 worst players I've ever seen with my eyes.
I know.
Any level, Barca Athletic, Juvenile A, Juvenile B, worst player, one of the worst players I've seen.
Yeah, but that's not making sense. He's just trying to trigger people. He's just in here. Says Jordi Alba was a one-trick pony. He's bad. Hey, listen, man. Come on, man. Respect Jordi Alba, man. He was a great fullback, man. I feel like people always disrespect him. Really, man. It doesn't make any sense. The Omar have shame. Balde is balling out and he's building up a lot. Listen, I'm not saying he's having a bad season, man. Like people think I'm hating, bro. I'm just saying I feel like we could do much better. That doesn't, like, at the end of the day, that's the plan, right? We always want to be better than we are. You don't want to just stay on one place, man. It says striker more than a left winger.
No, since Lewandowski stayed for a year, that makes no sense.
We need a wing. Bro, we are playing Rafinha out he's doing amazing in the left. I'll keep him there for sure. But let's be real. The first reason we're playing him down there because we don't have anybody down there. Like the only option is Ferran Torres. As much as he's been playing well this year, we all know that Ferran Torres is literally called Mr. Inconsistent. This brother cannot be consistent to save his life. You understand what I'm saying, right? So as much as he's playing well, I'm giving his fouls now. But listen, it is what it is. But listen, let's talk about Jonathan Tah, man. You just heard it, right? His potential, like he's one of those people who I was so confident from the start. I was saying, listen, he's gonna sign for us. He's gonna sign for us, right? I already made videos about him months ago, right? Before the start of the transfer window, right? Since then, people have been like, "Yo, Omar, the deal, bro, that Jonathan Tah deal has been very quiet, man. What's going on? This and this." I'm like, bro, there's still time. I still do believe we're gonna sign him. You understand what I'm saying, right? It seems like now it's speeding up. They're saying that it could potentially happen. And listen, I know Bayern Munich. I've heard from some of my Bayern Munich friends that they have been very heavily linked with him as well, right? And for me, I've always said, I just think he's gonna join us, man. I feel like he was just tailor-made to happen. And you just saw, we've heard that he signed, like Bayern Munich offered him a bigger contract than we did. Right? Here it is. I actually have the thing here. Look, apparently, as you can see, it says despite the fact that they offered him a lucrative contract, he chose us. Right? So at the end of the day, I'm happy about this, man. What do you think about this deal personally for you?
Yeah, it's good. He's a really, really good defender. Great for coverage and competition in the team. I don't think he's a starter kind of player. I think he's probably that first name off the bench. And again, it's good coverage for when Inigo ends up leaving after next season. 'Cause I don't think Inigo will stay past that, even if he
Yeah.
does super super well. But you could say I think it's a sign that we're capitalizing on. It's not really someone that we do need. He's not someone that we're desperate for. It's just that we saw a good market opportunity. Flick wanted him, and we've basically gone and done the deal. So overall, good. It will of course push out some center backs that are currently in the team. Eric
Mhm.
Garcia, Andreas Christensen, maybe Aruho if someone comes in and activates his release clause. But I think overall we are getting a very strong veteran center back who's very experienced at the highest level, very not injury prone. I think he's only had I think he's only missed. I saw a stat where it said he only missed 7 days due to injury in like the last 7 years,
I
something
actually
like
have
that.
it right here. The crazy
Yeah,
thing is, I literally have it right here. Yeah, I mean, sure, I prepared for all of this. Look at this. Seven
yeah, missed
games,
7 games.
seven
That's what it was.
seasons,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
7 games in 7 seasons, you know.
yeah.
I swear to
Well,
God,
see,
if
the same thing happened with Griezmann when he
this
joined
guy
Barcelona.
joins us and he starts getting injuries, bro, I'm
Yeah.
pointing
Well,
this
how
guy.
about Griezmann? I remember Griezmann when he came. He I think he never got injured his professional career. That he came to Barcelona, he had like a hamstring injury that left him out for a few weeks, and then the next season after that, he was out for like a month as well. So he had 2 injuries at Barcelona that left him out for a month, but he came in injury free. So you never know really. But the Todd deal, I think overall is good. I think the wages are fair as well, and I do think that this means that exits will happen in the defense. And in the end, if you sell defenders and bring in a defender for free to replace him, it's overall great marketing by Barcelona and also a center back that the manager did request for.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've I've spoken to a lot of people who watch the Bundesliga, right? And when it comes to Jonathan Tah, he's one of those people that is very polarized in Germany. Like there are some who rate him very highly. They say he's a good center back, and then there are those who just say, "Nah, that's Tapsoba is a better center back," and all of these stuff. Now, I've already said this. I look at this Jonathan Tah move very similar to how I saw when we signed Christensen. Because Christensen wasn't a world class center back, he was a capable center back.
He's
And,
very, very good to be fair, yeah.
and that's the thing. And even now, I just think that for me, he's had so much injuries that he's just fell off the pecking order. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
the thing is, he came in with those injury issues. I remember I had a Chelsea fan telling me that he
Mhm.
would miss games for no reason, like stomach flu, headache, and we saw some of that a lot in his
Mhm.
first season. But his first season, to be fair to him, he played almost every single game. And last season, he played a good chunk, probably about 60% of the games, but he missed a lot. He only remember he could only play one half most of the time, and that was due to the fact that he was injured. But Xavi was forcing him to play because we're doing bad. And he wanted his better players to play, so him being forced to play with an injury forced him basically out for this season. But he's always had these niggling issues. Even that first season when he came in, he was fully fit. I said in my videos that when he comes back from this injury, if he gets injured again in like the next month, I would send him off. He came back, didn't even play, and still got injured out for another month. So he's unreliable at the end of the day. But I think he's definitely the quality of Barcelona. I think he's very capable of playing for this team. I think he's very good, but he's just
Mhm.
not available. The
And that's
best
the thing,
form of
isn't
him,
it?
yeah.
Listen, football is that simple, man. At the end of the day, you need to be on the pitch. If you're not playing, bro, it is what it is. Time moves on. You understand what I'm saying, right? Guys, football is cruel sometimes. Like injuries is not something you play on anyone, and sometimes it hits everyone. But if you are synonymous for being injured constantly, bro, don't be surprised if the club moves on. The club can't wait for you. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for me, when it comes to Jonathan Tah, I've seen. No, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've watched him every single week. I know how good he is. He's amazing. This and this. I'm not gonna lie. I think that when it comes to Jonathan Tah, he is just he's just a capable defender. And sometimes that's all you have to be. You don't have to be world class. Like I don't want you to. I would love for you to be world class, but sometimes just being good enough is fine by me. Like don't like Christensen was one of those guys. We just mentioned him, right? Christensen when he was on the pitch, I never once. I've said it before. Christensen has been in this. If I just put up now, this is third season, right? I have not seen Christensen had games where I'm like, yo, Christensen was the worst defender on the pitch. Never. Like I've had moments where I've called out Araujo. Heck, I've even called out Cubarsi. I've called out Inigo last season in some games. You understand what I'm saying? I've called out Eddie Garcia this season. Sometimes, right? Christensen is one of those guys where I'm like, I'm not sitting, I'm like, yo, I can't sit there and say, yo, this game, you did this wrong, or you were the worst defender on the pitch. He was always a guy who put a 7 out of 10 minimum.
Yep.
7 out of 10. Like every game, just 7 out of 10. And sometimes like I like a defender who's consistently just okay. Like I would rather you be consistently okay than be world class today and be terrible next week. Because at the end of the day, I will not know which one of you is going to turn up. Like that's how Araujo is moving for me right now, where I'm like, you have moments where you're like the best defender on the pitch, and then you have moments like this when you're just being a bozo, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't like that. I want you just to be like, okay, if he has a stinker, he'll be like, okay, he's just silent. You understand what I'm saying? Right? He's just silent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't make it the norm of like, today you're good, tomorrow you're bad. Today you're good, tomorrow you're bad. If I would rather you just be okay every game, where I'm like, all right, cool. He's not going to be the guy who's going to pop up and be the best player on the pitch, but he's also not going to be the worst player on the pitch. You understand what I'm saying? So he's just going to be okay. And I think that with Jonathan Tah, that's really how I can rate him. He's just a player who's just okay. You understand what I'm saying? Right?
It's not free though, so there's no really risk factors. Same with Christensen, right? He came out on a free. If you sell him, it's pure profit for us in terms of FFP as well. That'll be absolutely huge if we can get him off the books for 20, 30 million. With I think he has 2 years left on his deal. So with these, free agent signings, there's always little to no risk. Same with Depay as well. When he came in for free, a lot of people didn't like it. I was a really big pusher for Depay to come in. I thought he did well overall. We sold him for like 2 million, 3 million. In the end, it was pretty profit. So that pretty much covered his wages for the time he was here. So in terms
I don't know what. Sorry guys, something. I think something happened to my guy's stream. Give me a second. Sorry guys, something happened to Hafed's stream. Don't worry guys, he'll be back. He'll be back. Hey guys, let's see some of these chats, guys. A lot of you guys have actually been very, very active. I don't know what's going on. There we go. He's here. There you go, man. It happens constantly, bro. Like every time I noticed this happened before on the stream, bro. But yeah, man. Like you were just saying. I hope you didn't lose your train of thought.
Well, I was talking about. I was saying about Jonathan Tah coming in for free. There's little to no risk factor in it.
Yeah.
So if he does well, great. If he doesn't do well, great. We've had a lot of free agent signings over the past few years who they've done well, they stay. If they don't do well, they leave for money. In the end, we make profit. So it's really a win-win. His signing can really not go bad. So the only way it goes bad is if he's on good wages and then he just never plays. But I think his wages are respectable. I think he's on 100,000 euros per week, which is exactly what Inigo is on. A little bit of a sign-on bonus as well for coming in for free, probably 2 million, something like that. So it really can't go wrong. But it is it's of course a player that the manager does really want. So hopefully the manager can get the best out of him.
I mean, yeah, I know. So let's call it out for what it is. He's a clearly a manager signing, right? Hansi Flick
For sure, yeah.
clearly authorized this move. So listen, at the end of the day, I'm open to the idea of having him on the team, right? Big up to everyone in the chat. Johnny says Jonathan Tah is immense. Is an immense signing, and physically, yeah, this is also something that's about like he's like you can see he's a built center back, right? Defensive, like he's not one of those where you can tell he's gonna be bullied off the ball. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it says big up to start making sense. Says Jonathan Tah's deal is inevitable. Let's be real. That's because his agent is Zahavi, Lewandowski's agent and Flick's agent. I mean that is true, man. Like Zahavi has a great relationship with Barcelona. He's he's one of the key reasons why we did bring in Lewandowski to the team. All right. Big up to Catalan says we knew once Flick came, we would have signed German players. I mean, listen, I don't really care. I don't really.
That's why they're snagging this thing.
I mean, listen, I don't personally for me, right? I've never been one of these people. I'm like, oh, you have to have this level of players in this team. Like, I remember when we were obviously too young or not even born when this happened. But when Van Gaal was in charge, he started buying Dutch players in the Barca team the whole time. And let's be real, some of those Dutch players actually ended up being legends, like Kluivert. You had what's his name, the fullback. We even had like De Boer in the team, flipping the fullback. Is it Reiners or Reisen?
Reinders, yeah.
Right, we signed a lot of good Dutch players at the time. Not all of them were great. There was some that were really, really, really bad, right? But at the end of the day, I'm just one of the people. I'm like, listen, it doesn't really matter, right? I'm not saying like just sign the whole German national team. Listen, go sign if you want to sign German players. Go bring in Musiala. Go bring Florian Wirtz, bro. I'll bring in Florian Wirtz. I'll take him, right? Like you see, like we've been linked with Kimmich, like. who knows? He's another one who could potentially sign if we're serious about it. Listen, I think that defensive midfield is an area we need to work on. I would love for us to go and sign
You think
Zubamendi.
so?
That's the dream.
I
Right
think
now,
we're-
Arsenal is good over there, but bro, I don't want to put that.
we have Bernal as well. Don't forget when he comes back. I know it's a bit of a
Bernal's had an ACL injury. I don't
yeah,
expect
but like
him
look
to
with ACL injuries, it's 50-50. You come back this. You can come back better. You can come back worse. You can come back the same. That's the problem with the ACLs. You just don't know. But from what we've seen from Bernal before he got his ACL injury, if he comes back better or even the same level, we take it. I think the only way.
No,
Kimmich
yeah,
comes
and
in-
listen, I'll be more than happy, bro. Don't get it twisted. I love watching these youngsters come in from the academy and bring themselves to the first team, bro. Yamal, Balde, Gavi.
But when you say you want a verse, look, I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Verse and Musiala are in the same category. I think both players are fantastic. I think they're both at the level of Barcelona. I think they're that good. But when you have players in our team like Pedri, Gavi, Fermin, and Dani Olmo, where do they fit? We just signed our Verse and Musiala last summer in Dani Olmo. We splashed 50 million on him. So unless
And
you
that's a good question, and I actually have an answer for that. Now,
let me hear it.
here's the thing. Dani Olmo, as great as he is, and I rate this brother very highly, when he's on the pitch, he does his job.
He's
But
barely
there's
on
a
the pitch.
key word I just used in that phrase. When he's on the pitch. Let me say this now. When we signed Dani Olmo, I made a video on this channel where I said, when this brother is on the pitch, he will change everything. But there's a brother, bro, since he was at Leipzig, was always having injury problems, right? And the issue is, I've been hearing recently that this brother is so injury prone, unfortunately, that the club doesn't trust him to play more than
Back-to-back
three
games.
games, not three games. And that is not, and for me, I'm not saying you have to start every game, but I want to know that if you're one of our key players, I need to know that, listen, man, I can trust you to be on the pitch.
But you have to look at it from a squad perspective. That let's say for your attacking midfield position, the two options we have right now are Dani Olmo and Fermin. Gabi can play there. He hasn't played there in the bigger games. Of course, Pedri can play there. We saw Rafinha play there at the beginning of the season. But those are kind of like utility players. Our two attack midfielders are Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez. That is clear. So let's say, for example, you want to bring in Verse. One of them has to go. You're probably going to say, all right, Fermin, your time is up.
I mean, Fermin can play, but this is the thing with Fermin. Fermin is he's so versatile. People don't talk about this enough. This brother can play in the center midfield.
But you have
and on
you
the
have
left
to
wing.
think, you have to think about squad balance as well. Because you would think, okay, Fermin's so
Okay,
versatile, but where are you going to play? On the left, you have Rafinha, the new left wing signing. On the right, you're going to have Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres. Up front, you're going to have Lewandowski, new striker signing. He's going to be versatile, sure, but where is he going to fit? Eric Garcia right now is in that dilemma. Very good, can play right back, center back, and the pivot. But there's already other players in that position, 2 or 3, where he's finding it hard to get minutes. He
Right.
only gets minutes now when players are either out of form or injured. So if you look at it from Verse perspective as well, if he comes in, him and Dani Olmo, Verse will probably play more since Dani Olmo's injured. But when they're both fit, you're going to have the biggest conundrum ever. And we see this all the time with other teams where they have too many big players in each position. I think right now we have the perfect balance in the midfield. I think I even said this on your show the last time or the time before that. I think our midfield right now is perfect. It does not need any touching. You only bring someone in and someone leaves. So if Frankie leaves, for example, does not renew his contract, you want to bring in Kimmich on a free, crack on. And then he almost says all of a sudden I want to leave, you want to sell him and bring in Verts, crack on.
I
One
think
in
we
and one
did
out.
talk about this when I was mentioning Zubamendi, and you
Exactly. So I think right now is very, very solid. Unless Bernal comes back and is absolutely flops, I think we have our midfield now is definitely not a priority. There's other areas in this team that need desperate investment. Left wing, fullback, striker in a year's time, goalkeeper as well. Those 4 alone should be taken priority over bolstering our midfield. I think our midfield already has too many big personnel. When everyone's fully fit, there's going to be some strong competition. People are going to be complaining and crying. You'll see in the media, there's already been rumors today saying that, oh, Chelsea wanted Casado, but Casado wanted to stay. That's already coming out now. Why? Because Casado has lost his place in the starting team to Frankie de Jong. Of course, having competition and coverage in the squad is important. There's 60 games a season. Everyone will get minutes and stuff. But when you reach that final 2 months of the season and you're just playing your best team week in, week out to get the best results, of course, because you're dying for results, that is when you'll hear it. That's why you have to have the right chemistry, the right when those players are on the bench. They won't complain. We're speaking on all these players, by the way. We didn't even mention Pablo Torre, who's again kind of like Eric Garcia, kind of that 6th choice who comes in anywhere you plug him in. He's probably going to end up leaving the summer because there's just no place for him whatsoever. That's why I think our midfield right now is perfectly balanced. Pedri, Gavi, De Jong, Bernal, Casado, Fermin, Deni Olmo. I personally wouldn't touch it. That's why players like Verts and Musiala, when I see them in the media, it just does not make sense to me whatsoever. That's just my perspective on it. I
I
think it's a
mean,
perspective as well, unless, again, like I mentioned,
mhm.
someone leaves or maybe there's a big injury where you have to invest in,
Yeah, I mean, listen, your points are valid, and I'm not even disagreeing with anything you're saying, right? And look, obviously, fans are gonna be fans. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I want this player, I want that player. Listen, I'm a lot like you, where yes, I also, when it comes to signing players, I also like to look at, okay, before we sign this guy, is he actually gonna play, or how is his signing gonna impact the squad? I also always think about these things, right? Now, I've always said this when it comes to Musiala and Vert, right? Both players, top players, amazing players. Would love to see them at my club. Yes, like you, like come on, let's be real, Hafid. If you were given the opportunity to sign one of those players, you're not gonna say no. You're not gonna say no. Like obviously, you're gonna talk about squad depth and all that. But when you have the opportunity to sign a player who you know can change the team or make your team better, you're not gonna go against it. But let
Honestly,
me
right
just be clear.
now, unless they're for free, I would say no.
This
Why
is
am I
the
gonna?
point. See, that's the
Yeah,
point. That's why I said if he was offered to you, like let's say he was offered, like let's say in the summer we somehow agree a deal to sign Florian Wirtz. That's not something you expected. You're not gonna sit there and be like, I didn't want this deal to happen. At the end of the day, if we agree and it's actually done, you will say, all right, cool.
I
Maybe I
would be
would have loved all
disappointed
to
to be
sign other
fair.
positions, but
I would be disappointed because we're spending that money on a player that we do not need whatsoever. That's how I
yeah, I
would
mean,
see it.
look.
Of course, on terms of the price
Mhm.
matching the quality of the player, I wouldn't be disappointed. But if you're spending 100 million on reverse when we need a striker, a left wing, fullbacks, and a goalkeeper, where is this team going to level up? We're going to have the same problems. You're going to see, Ter Stegen making mistakes, no depth out wide. You're going to have a creator there giving the
I
ball to
mean, goalkeeper is
Ferran
another
Torres.
position that I think we need to improve on. I mean, listen. Look at what my guy here is saying. He says sooner or later, Pena is going to create beef with
Oh,
Flick.
Penya's getting booted in the summer.
Listen,
I've had enough
Pena,
of Penya,
Pena.
man.
I've
I've
said it
had
before.
enough of this crybaby. He's
Listen,
getting
let me
booted
say
in the
this
summer.
about Pena, right? I'm gonna say this about this guy. Yeah, you've been at this club for how many years? You've been a number two the whole time, and you understood that you were a number two.
No, no, no. Take that back. He was the number one. He had two opportunities to be the. I've never seen in my life the
Mm.
backup goalkeeper get an opportunity to be the first choice. Whether it was Pinto back in the day,
Yeah, Pinto,
what Jasper Cillison, who was an underrated goalkeeper.
amazing goalkeeper. Yeah, he was amazing.
Exactly.
He was
Uh,
our number two, and he was like starting for
yeah,
Netherlands. Crazy.
Neto as well. I've never in my life seen a goalkeeper not get one chance, but two. He played 30 games last season as number one. He played about 20, I think three this season as number one. No competition. He fucking sucks.
And your
He is,
bro,
oh my God.
brother,
Yes,
let me
he
tell you
played well in
something.
the
I've said
Clasico.
this
Yes, he
about
did a good
our
save here
goalkeeper.
and there, but
Hafet,
consistently he is crap.
Hafet, I've said this.
I
I
know.
said, yo, our goalkeeping prop team right now, our two goalkeepers, one of them is good with his hands, and the other is not good, and the other one is good with his feet. One is not good with his hands, and one is not good with
Hey,
his feet.
Chesney's got some feet on him, man. I see him picking some
No, no, no,
passes.
bro, no,
He's
no, no,
not too
no, no,
bad.
bro. I'm just come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Have you seen some of the things this guy been doing?
Hey, it's at least it's all right. Chesney is
Listen,
even Chesney came in. We
Pena
all
is
knew.
moving. The way Pena is moving, I'm like, brother. I saw you get on the pitch after Chesney gets sent off and concede right after getting on the pitch. I saw the bro, I saw so many games. I'm like, yo, this guy had so many opportunities. Easy says, I'm looking at this brother missing. I'm like, dude, for years you've been a number two, given chances to be number one. And now you now want to sit here and start talking out of your neck. Why? Because you were starting
But how did
games
he
when
get dropped?
Stegen was
Don't
injured?
remember how he got dropped. He was late. So when
Exactly, bro.
wait, one second. When Kunde was late against Alaves, Hector Fort came in. Hector Fort played all right. He didn't play good enough to really make a big question mark for him to be dropped or not. When Inaki Pena was dropped for being late, Chesney came in, and Chesney dropped an absolute masterclass with a clean sheet against Bilbao in the semifinal of the Super Cup in his second ever game for Barcelona. One second, let me land. Flick made it very clear that Inaki Pena was going to play pretty much the rest of the games this season, apart from the Copa del Rey. He was going to play the Super Cup, League, Champions League, and Chesney would only play the Copa del Rey. Just to say, you know what, thanks for coming out of retirement here, you can play the Cup games. Pretty much that was it. He played so well that Flick said, you know what? I'm going to play Chelsea for the final. He's fit. He's ready to go. And Nakapane has been a bit slow. Because remember, Nakapane did not play the first game in the new year because Chelsea played the Cup. So he has not played since his performance against Atletico Madrid when we lost 2-1. So he's been about a month. So we're going to chuck him into it for his first game in a month in the Super Cup final against Clasico? No. Play Szczesny. Szczesny played very well up until the red card. And of course, when the Nakapane came in for the red card, he made a good save for the Bellingham chance in the last second. The free kick went in on him. But that was the turning point because Szczesny came in and he took his opportunity. And Szczesny said this in his interviews when he first signed for Barcelona. Like, look, I know that Nakapane is number one right now. I have no problem with that. He's better than me right now. But if I get my chance, I'm going to take it. And that's exactly what happened. He played again, played well, played again, played well. We're undefeated with him. He kept back-to-back clean sheets for the first time this season, I feel like. He has done better. He is the better goalkeeper. And Nakapane now is crying. Why was I dropped? I don't know why I was dropped. Because you were late for training. Yes, your girlfriend was pregnant with your baby. Congratulations. We still had a Super Cup final. You shouldn't have been up at 3 a.m. talking to her. Lock in. This is Super Cup final against Madrid. It's your job. He didn't want to do it. He can now cry and moan. Get him gone this summer. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Listen, let me say this, right? Respectfully to Pena, bro. You are not a needle mover in this team. You're not. Dude, you're not a needle. You've never been a needle mover, bro. You've never been a needle mover. Relax, brother. Please, for God's sake, relax. You understand what I'm saying? Right? All of this drama this brother is bringing, I'm like, dude, you're the last person to be bringing this drama, bro. Because no one is in the league, in the club, not the fans, not the board. No one is going to be taking your side on this. You understand what I'm saying? And you just mentioned it, bro. This guy has been acting, has had so much drama now. I'm like, bro, you know what, bro? Let me tell you something, bro. You think you're gonna be ruining my dressing room? Get out of here, man. If I'm Hansi Flick, I'm blackballing you, bro. I'm putting you on. You're training with the kids, bro. Don't play with me. I'll go bring what's his name? What's the name of the fourth goalkeeper we have? Is it
Astralaga.
Bro, I would rather bring that guy to be our number 2 and send this guy to the
Hopefully, Szczesny renews his contract this summer as well and stays for another year. We can Ben Szczesny and Ter Stegen, like because Ter Stegen starting no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So nothing will ever drop Ter Stegen as the number 1 choice goalkeeper. He's the captain of the club as well. So.
I hope he comes next.
100%, one of Szczesny or Nakapane is leaving this summer, and hopefully.
Pena.
It's the Spanish player, yeah.
I swear to God, I hope we get rid of him because I'm gonna be honest, man. But listen, I do want to quickly read some of these chats so that we can move on because I don't want to spend too much time. But yeah, this guy's been asking the question, your favorite left back and right back options. I mean, listen, man.
Trent for free would be very nice, but I don't know if the.
Oh yeah, that's a dream, but.
But
hey, listen, Real Madrid will be there, and listen, Real Madrid is so. Bro,
being realistic. I like Vanderson, and here's my shot. I've been crying for this player since I started doing YouTube videos back in COVID. And before that, I've always, even when I did a career mode on FIFA, like 14, 15, I always had this player. Gaia. Jose Gaia for left back. Remember, Valencia is getting relegated, so he hopefully, maybe, if Valencia get relegated, he'll be available for very cheap. I think him as a coverage competition for Balde. Again, he's not too old, not too young. Very, very good player. Can definitely push Balde. That would be my hidden choice. And of course, right back, if I'm being realistic, Vanderson. If it's a dream, I would say Trent, but I don't know.
Anyone. But listen.
Let me check how old Jose is. If he's like under 30. He's turning 30.
You mentioned about Jose Gaia. You see when we played Valencia in the league, when we beat them 5-1 or 7-1 or something like that? 7-1, yeah. 7-1, right? When we beat them 7-1, I sat on that stream. You can go and check. I said it on the stream. I was like, bro, these guys are getting relegated. Let's go get Jose Gaia. I literally said it. I was like, yo. And people were like, nah, but this is not. I would have taken Jose Gaia 5 years ago. I'm like, bro.
I'm still thinking now. He'll be cheap.
I'm watching the game right now, and he's the only player in that defense that's actually looking like he wants to do anything. And let's be clear, this guy's an experienced fullback who's also a captain. He's a leader. That's what we like. That's the thing this Barca team doesn't have. We don't have enough leaders in this team right now. We have so many good young players, and you see it in the way we play sometimes. You notice how when we play sometimes, when we're leading, we play so well, and when we're not leading, it's like the players are they don't like mentally they just don't recover quickly, right? I'm like, that's where you need a captain, a leader, a guy who's gonna be like galvanizing the players, like, come on, man, like, you know what I mean? Like that's what we don't have in this team. Like, respectfully, I don't think Lewandowski does enough of that. I think Rafinha tries, but you know, he's not there yet. You understand what I'm saying, right? Ter Stegen, he's another one. Like we don't really have a lot of vocal.
Well,
Like
he's the goalkeeper, man. That's why. I'm not a big fan of goalkeepers being the captain
I mean,
unless
that's the
it's
thing. It's
just
always normal, man. It's normal.
it's
Like,
coming. It's more on the pitch. It's annoying for me. I think in the locker room behind the scenes, I don't mind it, but on the pitch when he has to go talk to the referee and stuff, I think it's really, really stupid. But yeah.
yeah, big up to you. Says, but listen. I do want to quickly move on because we've been moving on this for quite a while now. But listen, before I actually go to like another thing that's happened, let's talk about this one right now, right? This because listen, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but because brother, I know you're tired of it. I know I'm tired of it, and I hope this is the last time this saga is we're gonna talk about this saga. But we're not. But I'm not going to detail about this because you remember, bro, our first ever episode of this show. This is what we talked about. And we said, bro, we're tired of this drama. We're not going to continue with this drama. And these guys better figure things out. So, yeah, look, Frankie de Jong, 2025 has been a good year for him. Let's call it out for what it is. This brother is back, bro. He's been having amazing performances for us. He's been incredible. He's nailed his place back into the first team again, which is amazing for us. You understand what I'm saying? I'm very, very happy to see him doing well. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I don't hate Frankie. I love Frankie, right? But he's just had so many unlucky moments. And listen, I'm happy to see that he's finally found his place in this team. And listen, you've seen it now. They're saying that Frankie de Jong has expressed to the locker room that he's more open to extend his contract. But the club appreciate this gesture, but they remain cautious. And basically, they're going to talk to his agent and negotiate terms. Look, before I let you have your say, I'm just going to quickly just say this, right? We all know that earlier this season, the club pulled out of the move of the contract we gave him. So we're going to be offering him a new contract, right? And de Jong was moving, the way de Jong was moving, I didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of it. Like, at the end of the day, I understand you're a player, you have to do what you have to do. But listen, man, you are not moving the right way. And I agree with the club at the time. You've been doing well recently. If this is true, I'm happy to hear that, you've basically made up your mind. But at the end of the day, this could just be rumors. And I just hope that if he's serious about staying, you sign the deal or you talk to the club, communicate with the club. You understand what I'm saying? Communicate with the club, be like, okay, listen, I'm more open to the move. Let's talk. You understand what I'm saying, right? But don't just sit there and be quiet and not give anyone anything. Because when you do that, you make us, you make fans like us sit there and wonder what your mindset is, and you make the club wonder what your mindset is. And at some point, the club is going to get sick of it and say, listen, man, you clearly don't want to make up your mind, or you clearly don't want to, you don't clearly know what your future is. We now have to choose your future for you. But listen, here it is. He's playing now. He's playing well, and now this rumor has happened. What do you think?
Like I said, every single time, I'll say it again. I think if we can agree a fair contract for him, I don't see why he doesn't stay. I think he's definitely of the level of Barcelona. I just think that we've heard a lot about his injury, that he was afraid to play. Again, he was very cautious about his injury. It was a 1-month injury that took him 7 months to recover from. He even came out in injury saying that now I'm more comfortable. I'm taking more risks, because beforehand he was always conservative, a bit scared that he didn't want to get re-injured. I think all the stuff about Frankie de Jong, his contract and wages is an absolute myth, because both Barcelona and the club come out denying it. But if you go and search up his wages, it comes up like $1 million per week, when that just isn't the case. So as long as we can agree on a wage that's fair for us and fair for him, I don't mind him staying. I think he's definitely at the level of Barcelona. They're a captain of the team. And his performances this year, of course, like you mentioned, this year have been very, very good. A few defensive mistakes, which is why I think that Casado will still be a very important player for Barcelona come these next few weeks, where I think Casado's much better off the ball, defensive transition, where Frankie picks up the ball, finds those spaces, makes those runs, exploits the attacking areas, which he really does well, which Casado doesn't, but Casado wins the ball back and defensively is very better than Frankie. So again, like you mentioned, Frankie is now a starter on this team. It is the midfield three now, probably of Frankie, Pedri, and Olmo as our best.
I think that's I think that's the. I'm listening. You're open to disagreeing, but I think that's probably our best.
I think it's our best against most teams. Against teams that are going to sit back against us, where we have to go for. If we have a Classico Champions League final tomorrow, I start Casado 100%. We play Liverpool tomorrow.
I think Casado better in the defensive midfield role.
Exactly. We have, of course, Atletico Madrid. I think in
Defensively,
those kind of games when we play Atletico Madrid, where they're going to sit back and give us space, I think those games are very important for Frankie de Jong. But then again, on counters, I would be very, very worried to have Frankie de Jong there. He's a bit lazy. I've seen a lot of clips of him, not tracking back. Hopefully, Flick gets on him on that a bit more because if we're seeing it, hopefully Flick is seeing it. But I still think the competition is fierce. But the reason why Frankie is starting a lot more and probably is the starter right now is because we play teams that are lesser level than us more often than we play teams that are equal level to us. So, like for example, we get PSG, hopefully not in the round of 16. I start Casado in both games over Frankie. Yeah, when we play on the weekend, I start Frankie in that game because we'll get with the team sitting back, we need to exploit space, move the ball quicker. Frankie Diallo is much better than Casado is. So, hopefully, Flick knows that too, but we'll see.
And that's the thing. We know Hansi Flick. One thing I've really read about Hansi Flick is he's very aware of everything. Like we just mentioned about the Pena Chesney thing. He at first wanted Pena to be his starting goalkeeper in the league. But when Chesney started playing well, it gave him options. So he was like, with the new information, we reassess. You understand what I'm saying, right? And listen, at the end of the day, I think that's the same thing what happened with De Jong. De Jong, I think the Copa del Rey game against Betis, that's where we really started to see changes, right? Bro, he was incredible. Like him and Omo were arguably the two best players on the pitch on that day. You understand what I'm saying, right? And he continued with that form. He was amazing even in the game against Atalanta. I think in the midfield, he was doing amazingly well, right? Recently in our game against Sevilla, right? He played very, very well in that game, right?
So the ball away stupidly for that counter.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah, that's the problem with Frankie.
That's a low light. And this is the thing. I'm going to be real. I've said it before. De Jong is incredible. However, you just mentioned it. De Jong is not perfect. You understand what I'm saying, right? And he's synonymous for making mistakes, bro. This guy makes too much mistake. Like you just mentioned, in certain games, I don't trust De Jong. I trust Casado over De Jong. You just mentioned it. Like the game against, if we play PSG, you're right. I am not trying to see like respectfully. Maybe De Jong can come in the second half, make some great passes. He's good at that. Like on the ball, when he has the ball, yes, I trust De Jong to do his job. It's when off the ball where I'm worried about him. You understand what I'm saying, right? That's where I'm like, I would rather say because when we play in the midfield, obviously against PSG, we're not going to always have the ball. And when they have the ball, they're going to be attacking us. And you need Casado to be that link between the defense and the midfield. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So at the end of the day, you're right. But as far as this whole thing with the contract is concerned, I'm only listening to this until the end of until the summer. Because in the summer, either he signs a deal or we're done. It's that simple, man. Like, bro, I swear to God, next season I am not making any more move. I'm not making any more rumor. If he's here next season and hasn't signed a contract, bro, he needs to leave. I don't care how good he's playing, bro. I don't care how good he's playing. If he's doing it, just let him go in the summer for free, bro. Like respectfully, bro, because clearly your mind is not fully here. And I want
let's try and get some money for him.
What's that?
Let's try and get some money for him.
Exactly, man. And listen, we gotta move. We gotta move, man. But big up to some of the people who just joined. Big up to early doors, man. Big up to you every single time, brother. But yeah, man, listen. Big up. Listen, man. This chart is actually crazy. I don't know if you will notice. Like this chart has been incredible. It says the distribution to the TV rights, and bro, this is I don't know what he's talking about here. Oh yeah, listen to this. From he says Cucurella. What? How have you seen Cucurella been doing now? I think he just scored. Did he? Apparently,
he's doing okay for Chelsea. It doesn't really move me. We had our time to bring him back and didn't work out. So I would.
This Andrea Cambias. He's another one who.
Cambias is great, but he's gonna cost a fortune to get out of Juventus.
I think Juventus rejected. I think 80 million for him.
It was like 6 years, something like that from City. Yeah.
Even yet, still. I mean, that's the mindset, but. Look up to this. As a Saudi myself, we will sell Isak to Barcelona, not to Prem clubs if Barcelona come knocking. Speaking of Isak, he's actually the one that we're gonna go to next because apparently this is what's been coming out this week. Apparently they're saying Alexander Isak is one of the names Deco likes to strengthen in the attack. Barca have already made an informal contact with his people close to him in 2024, but haven't taken any further steps. The initial contact was confirmed that Isak would like to wear the Barca jersey, but Newcastle are asking for more than 100 million for him. Now, that's not a surprise. Come on. He's literally their best player. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Look, actually need to pull this up. There it is. I thought it was on the screen, but there you go. This is the thing. I remember last year when we did the show, we talk about Gyökeres. You didn't rate Gyökeres. Now, Gyökeres is clearly one that's never been linked to our club. He was just one I was suggesting. Now, Isak. I don't know what you think about Isak, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm excited about this link. I'll tell you why I'm excited for this link. Is because this guy, he's the truth. He's incredible, bro. What he's been doing at Newcastle has been incredible. But also, let's not forget, his brother is La Liga proven. This brother scored 19 goals for Real Sociedad in I think his second to last season at the club. 19 goals in La Liga for Real Sociedad. I think who finished, sixth or seventh in the table, right? I think he was third top goal scorer in the league at the time. Behind, I swear he was behind
Benzema
and Benzema. Yeah, bro. And let's be clear, he's what, 24 years old. This guy is a youngster, and for his height, he's so incredible with his link-up play as well. I like the way his link-up play is. He's not incredible in his link-up play, but this guy is great, bro. And the fact that we're being linked, I like it, because sometimes it shows to me that clearly this club is also looking at certain players for certain positions. Like, we're not just trying to sign players based on potential, but we're also trying to sign players who have proven that they can do a job. And this guy, unlike Gyökeres, he's shown he can do it in the league, he can do it in the Premier League, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If we can make this deal happen, bro, it would be one of the signings of this summer, bro. If we can get it done. But what do you think?
I fully agree with what you said. I think, like I talked about on the channel last time we talked about strikers, I thought that Holland was going to be the one that Barcelona would go for. But since now he signed that 20-year deal with the City, it's not going to happen. The issue with Isak is that we need him to survive this summer. We're not going to go for him this summer because he'll be too expensive. We got to use our money elsewhere. What we need a striker is in 2026 when Lewandowski ends up walking out the door. We just need him to survive this summer. And of course, if he survives this summer, next summer, 2026, he'll be much cheaper since, of course, there'll be 1 year less on his contract with Newcastle. But of course, a lot of teams that want him this summer, like Arsenal, stuff like that. I don't think. Here's my thing. He's probably if you can tell me, Barcelona boy, pick any striker in the world to sign for Barcelona, that's realistic, of course. I would choose Alexander Isak. But I don't think he's a £100 million striker. I think he's 75, 80. And that will be his price, I think, in 2026. So he's going to hope that no one really gets him this summer. I don't think we'll go for him this summer. I think maybe we'll say to him, look, we'll come for you next year. Say 1 year in Newcastle. Maybe we could say that. But definitely a player that moves me. He's basically like Henry as striker, pretty much by the movements of his goal and his dribbling. He's absolutely fantastic. Definitely something that could be exploited at Barcelona and, reach the top level at Barcelona. But we got to wait 1 more year. So hopefully he survives at Newcastle.
Look, I'm gonna be very honest, man. I'm a greedy guy. I'm extremely greedy, bro. I want both Lewandowski and Isak in the club. And listen, let's be clear. Lewandowski is 37. You understand what I'm saying, right? So we know that this contract he signed is going to be his last contract. Let's be real. I think even he himself will attest to the fact that this is probably going to be his last year at the club. Next season will be his last season, right? I'm one of those people where I'm like, what would be the dream? And you just mentioned it, right? At the end of the day, I hear your point, but the dream for me is somehow, like, who knows what's going to happen in the transfer window, right? But if we somehow manage to sign him on a deal this summer, right? To have him as the main man and to have Lewandowski as the guy who's basically he's learning from, and that would be the dream. But you just mentioned it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be.
I think if we sign him this summer, we're going to play him at left wing for a year, and then when Lewandowski leaves, striker. That's what I think we'll do.
God's sake, Hansi Flick, don't do that.
Because if you think about it,
start him and put Lewandowski on the bench, man. Like,
if you think about the left wingers we're going for, right? Nico Williams, 60 million, Luis Diaz, 50 million, Rafael Leao, probably 75 million. At that point, you just stop a couple extra 20 million or so. You can get Isak now. So, and of course, he can play at left wing. You play a lot of left wing at Real Sociedad. before he got moved to striker by Emmanuel Alguacil. So that could be an option as well. Play your future striker at left wing for a year just so you can get him early. That could be a possibility. But to have them both as strikers, I don't think that's realistic. Kind of like what we talked about with Verse earlier. Just too much firepower, too much strong, competitiveness that there will be no fine balance. So even with Lewandowski knowing the fact that he's deteriorating, he still wants to be the main man. He wants to leave at the top, kind of like what Suarez did. He of course got 20 goals in the season, but he wasn't really that great. Left at his peak. That's what Lewandowski wants to do as well. He doesn't want to be in a bench play. He's already kind of been on the bench a lot more this season than he probably likes to be. But since he starts all the big games, I think he's kind of getting by. But he's not a player that wants to be like, oh yeah, you can be the striker. I'll stay here for a year and help you in training. He wants to leave at the top.
He wants to lead the team, basically. He just wants to be the main man. I hear it, man. I respect the mentality. But big up to Ahmed. He's asking, he says, genuine question, Fermin or Jude Bellingham? Now, look.
Oh, easily Fermin Lopez. I don't think it's that close.
Yeah. Listen, man. This is the one that always triggers people. I've said it before. For me, this is the actual like conversation in Barca. I've always said this. Real Madrid tried to do this thing of Bellingham or Pedri or Bellingham or Olmo, Bellingham or I'm like, let me tell you something. Any guy who watches football, who is not a Barcelona or Madrid fan, who just watches both of these players play, will tell you that Pedri is miles better than Bellingham. Nobody brings that conversation apart from Madrid fans. No one, no other fan base ever says Pedri or Bellingham in a conversation. This is the conversation they always bring, and the reason there's a reason why this is a conversation, because Fermin is basically our closest, and he's the closest thing to Bellingham that we have in our club. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because he's a goal-scoring midfielder. That's what Bellingham is known for. People try to do this thing at Real Madrid when I talk to Madrid fans saying, but he does this as well, he does that as well. I'm like, bro, I'm watching you guys every week. Why you guys didn't think I'm not doing hit along for you guys? Every week I'm watching you. I'm sitting there on my stream saying, where is Bellingham? Where is Bellingham? What is Bellingham doing? And then Bellingham scores a goal and does nothing. He will do nothing. Like, bro, how many times have you watched Madrid? Bro, how many times have you, Barca boy, watched Madrid every week, right? And you've seen Bellingham be completely silent for 80 minutes in the game and somehow scores a goal, and then they just make it all about the Bellingham show, and you're just sitting there like, bro, what? And these guys have been watching the game. I swear these guys are not watching. They just saw a Bellingham scored and just put the headline in there. I swear to God, man. But listen, it is what it is. I don't really care, but
It is what it is. Yeah,
it is what it is. But I agree with this. I think Valverde in that midfield, he's their best midfielder. He's not.
I agree.
100%. 100%. But yeah, but look, at the end of the day, you just mentioned it. Speaking of another wingers, I know we've been linked with wingers, man. We're going to talk about this very quickly before we do wrap up, right? Wingers, like you've seen Leao been linked. Nico Williams, the link has actually died down this season, right? It's crazy. It's actually died down, all right? Luis Diaz is the one that we know Barca have been very, very, like, he's actually one of those people that Barcelona have been, we really love him at Barca, right? He's been linked to us very heavily. When you look at those three players, Leao, Nico Williams, and Luis Diaz, all three players, right? These are three left wingers. Who would you take out of those three, and why?
I would say Nico Williams, but the fact that he rejected us last summer does not make me want to go for him now. But I do think he is the best fitted for the team in terms of price, style of play. Of course, knows half the team from the Spanish national teams. The integration will be an issue. Knows the league as well. With Leao, there's going to be a lot of risk. Apparently, the club don't really like him too much because they think he's very poor defensively. Where Nico Williams, he's known for being very much a defensive winger on top of being very strong in the attack. Where Luis Diaz, very similar to that, can track back and defend. So pretty much you want to buy a young Spanish winger for 60 million or a Colombian winger in his prime where you get maybe 2 or 3 years out of him for the same price. So if I take things all into consideration, price, impact on team, factor, player profile, I still think that Nico Williams is the best option, but a bit reluctant to do it after what happened last summer.
Well, listen, man, it is what it is. Listen, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button, guys. We got like what 6 likes, bro. What's going on, man? Like the like algorithm is ridiculous, man. Like, we've had like over 15 people in here, and not enough people are liking the video. Big up to Catalan. He says Nico Williams because of his age and potential. I mean, yeah, and let's be real, he's Spanish, bro. Like, let's be real, the Spanish thing is Nico
I
Williams.
think more importantly, he's in the Spanish league and stuff like that. Not really the fact that he's Spanish.
And let's
Yeah.
be also, and let's call it out. Many Spanish people want to see that. They want to see because they've seen it in the Euros, and they're like, that looked very good in this in the Spanish national team. You know what I mean, right? They're very interested. Like, listen, people, and I'm kind of in your mindset where, for me, out of those three, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really rate Nico Williams as highly as many people do. I think I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I just don't think he's like the player many people think he is. You understand what I'm saying, right? And
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, Leao is another one who I don't rate. I don't rate Leao, man. Like, I feel like if we spend money on Leao, it's just, dude, we're just gonna be spending too much money on him, on a player that honestly is not gonna. Like, I don't see him being a game changer. Respectfully, man, I've seen this too much. I've seen enough from him at Milan. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but what, 70, 80 million for him? Like, come on, man. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Like, for me, I'm just like, with Nico Williams, right now, I let it be about in the Europa League. I think they're hosting the Europa League final at home, right? That's the dream. They're trying to get into the Europa League final so that they can play in the San Amame. So, if his dream is to win a trophy with Bilbao, I think if they reach the final of the Europa League and they win the Europa League, I can see Nico Williams moving in the summer.
No, for sure. For
Sure.
sure. I
You
think
understand
whether
what-
they win it or lose it, I think he'll want to leave in the summer.
Yeah, I think
He
I
said
think
that
that
kind
was
of extra
that's
year
why
just
he
to
stayed.
give it a go, pretty much.
Yeah, says Nico is didn't because of the unknown. He wasn't ready yet, and also
I don't.
Bilbao was in the Europa
As
League.
a fan, I don't know the factors into why he left, but just based on what I've seen from the media, what I heard is that he wanted to stay just to do one more year. Apparently, people were saying that he wanted to come, but Barcelona couldn't fit him in FFP, stuff like that. So I don't know the exact logistics to it, but from what I've seen is that he said no because he wanted to stay one more year to try to win the Europa League at the MLS with his brother. So we'll see if they do
Listen,
it or
man,
not.
do your thing.
I pray for their downfall.
Listen, we're gonna wrap up soon, but as far as this question is concerned, bro, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Let me just say that. Take that however you want to take it, man. Like, we don't discuss politics here, unfortunately, man. This is football. We have our opinions. We have our opinions, but
Check out our politics channel link down below.
there you go. but listen now, Hafid. Tell the people, man, what can they find you and what do you got coming on your channel, man?
Yeah, Barca Boy on all platforms. We got coming up. We got talking about some of the news. We got of course the game against Vallecano coming up. The Champions League draw is going to be a week today as well for the round 16. Hopefully, we don't get PSG. And yeah, the grind for the season is going to be kicking off. We have actually a March International break coming up pretty soon, which is going to be in Ramadan as well. So clutch, don't have to do too much Barca watch during then.
Yeah.
But after the international break in March, where things are going to get heated up. Of course, we got semifinals coming up as well for the Copa del Rey next week. So yes, the Lemon Yamal will 100% take the number 10 when Alonso leaves the summer.
I think it's the obvious one. Let's be
100%.
I mean, listen, man, that number 10 is a heavy jersey, man. It's not for everyone. I've always said it. Barcelona number 10s, think about it. Like, we've had Messi, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo. Like, think about the players who've won the number 10. I'm like, number 10 is not to be played with, man. People just think that Barca's number 10 is not a joke. It's not. But yeah, man. But listen, guys, make sure you guys go and check on Barcelona Boys channel, guys. All right. Listen, man, your channel has been growing, man. I've been seeing, like, I think you're on 30K right now or something like that. Are you around 30K?
I think I'm almost at 40K. Let me check. I
You
don't
know
even
what
know.
I'm
To be
saying?
honest.
I swear when I did my first episode with you won like 23K.
No. I was probably
Are
on
you
33. Maybe 33.
On 33 at the time when
I'm almost at 36K.
But that's the thing. I said when I first did the show with you in October, it was, I think, when we did our first show, right? So I think you won like 23K or something like that.
No, I was probably on like 33 at the time. I hit 30K like in the middle of like last season.
Okay, okay. But listen, man, listen. At the end of the day, you've been doing this now for like what? This is your 5th year, right? On like,
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
started around 2020.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, man, you're doing your thing, man. And the hope is that one day I can reach your level, man.
Hopefully you can come join me too.
Yeah, but yeah. Big up. He says, big up to. Let's see some of these chats before they do goes. Before we do wrap up. He says that would be the dream for Nico to win the Europa League, then Barca win the Champions League, and then change sides. All right. Can you imagine the Super Cup, bro?
When Super Cup faces his club, that'd be hilarious.
Okay, listen. I'm glad somebody actually talked about this.
You know
So
what? If
last week-
Neymar does come back, he probably would get the 10 over 11 Yamal if it
but,
happens.
but he's not gonna stick around for too long.
Probably like a 0.5% chance that happens. But if it does happen, he's probably the only player that would get the 10 over Lamine.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
That would sell
I've seen-
all. Do you know how much
I've
money
seen-
Barcelona would make for
I've
2025 Neymar number 10 jerseys? Oh my god. I might buy one. Fucking hell.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. So I saw your reaction to like the link. They were saying, "Oh yeah, he's trading with Santos so that he can basically sign for Barcelona in January." And you just said it like, "When is it gonna end?"
Yeah. Every single year since Neymar left PSG, there's been rumors about him. Even when he signed renewals, there's always been rumors. I don't think it's gonna happen, obviously, but
But yeah,
I guess the world of football, you just never know.
yeah. But here we go. It says, big up to Benkele. Says, Luis Diaz might be the guy to do it, but they might be concerned with there might be concerns signing him, probably because of how his form drastically his form drops and drastically age, and basically
I think the only issue for me is his
age.
age, and he has a bit of an injury concern as well. He gets little niggles here randomly, once a month here and there. That's my two main concerns with Luis Diaz.
Yeah, he says the content is nice from Barca Boy. The voice man
I like sound the vibe. Whoa. This is my normal voice, man.
Hey man, come on, man. Hey, listen,
Very soothing.
This year
ASMR.
I have a deep voice, man. Listen, man. Listen, man. That's a sign that you're growing up, man. Your voice is not.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I always say, man. When your voice gets deeper, man, you're getting older. That's what I always say. Therefore, we might sign. He says, therefore, we might sign Barca's most dangerous attack when he turns 19. He'll be a beast. He's basically talking about Yamal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says, heck, we're gonna keep. We're gonna keep the Neymar to Barca rumors until he dies.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, bro. Listen, but yeah, man, what an amazing show this has been. We've been out here. We've done the show now in hour 30 minutes, bro. Amazing show. Big up to my guy Barca Boy every single time for turning up here. Blaugrana Buzz, as you guys know, we always do the show practically every single month, guys. Basically, every time stuff comes out, you're always gonna see me and Hafez doing the show every single time. But listen, this has been a 10 out of 10 show. Let me see who I'm gonna rate. I'm gonna rate somebody because I always like doing this. I like rating people. Let me see who's live. Okay, we're gonna redirect. No, you know what now? Let's redirect to Lee. Okay, I'm gonna redirect to Lee Reacts. Yeah, I'm gonna redirect to Lee Gunner's channel. But listen, man, big up to every single one of you guys who've been watching. This has been another episode of Blaugrana Bus. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But listen, Hafet, hopefully next time we do the show, by then maybe we'll be top of the league. Would have probably been in the round of 16, maybe avoid the PSG by then. Or, we could be sitting here miserable again. Hopefully not. But
Hopefully not.
probably the next show will probably be around the international break. So yeah, man. But listen, hopefully, good luck on your channel. Hopefully you hit 40K very, very soon. Over here, we're on the road to 3K on this channel, guys. Make sure we're almost like 300, 200 away from like hitting 300K, 3K on this channel, guys. But big ups to every single one of you guys who's been here from the start of the stream to the end of the stream. We're going to be redirecting to Lee Reacts, to Lee Gunner's channel. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, guys. Put Omar BYT rate on Lee Gunner's channel. Put Omar BYT rate over there. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I always say, whenever we end these streams, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia, and peace, you guys. Take care.